Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning everyone. Let us express our gratitude to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala for this grace and blessing that we are able together here today for presentation on the theme learning environment and instructional activities. This topic is a vital part of the field of education as it encompasses various aspects that directly contribute to enhancing the quality of the teaching and learning process. Through this session, we will explore how to create a supportive learning environment, design effective instructional activities, and implement proven best practice in education. This presentation has been prepared as a form of understanding of the material talk by our esteemed lecturer, Dr. Andriana Gafar, MMPD, and I'm Fanny Trisna, will serve as the moderator as well as the first presenter in today's session. The next presentation will be delivered by my colleague, Nesha Alsira as the second presenter, and Azhar Fauzan Aziz as the final presenter. Preliminary Chapter Overview. The discussion will be divided into three main subtopics. And first, developing instruction and instructional event, which will explore the importance of building communication and interaction learning atmosphere. Second, instructional activities, which will discuss various types of classroom activities aimed at achieving specific learning objectives. Third, activities based on proven effective practice, which will highlight teaching method approach that are supported by research and real-world success. We will that the presentation will provide valuable insight and inspiration for us all and become a useful foundation for implementing for effective and meaningful learning activities. Okay. And last, summary. And okay, let's go to the material. Developing instructional event. 1. Designing engaging. 2. Meaningful activities for effective learning. And first, I will explain about introduction to instructional interaction. Instructional design after determining objective and strategies. The next crucial step is to develop learning-centered interaction. This interaction enables students to actively acquire new knowledge and skill. A well-structured lesson plan include background, objective, target, activities, and assessment, but these activities the most directly drive the learning process. Okay, next slide, I will explain about case study overview. Next, let's look at a sample from the second grade elementary class. There are 24 students with varying learning abilities. Previously, they observe natural phenomena such as magnetism. The upcoming lesson aims to introduce this concept the air occupies space using practical and familiar technique. Learning activities. 1. Introductory discussion. Students review how to conduct scientific observation and are introduced to the idea that air, although invisible, is matter that take up space. Toy parachute activity using sample material. Students make a parachute and observe how aerosol is fall. A flow of discussion connect this the concept that air has mass and volume. And 3. Sailboat submarine activity. Students submerge a board made from walnut shell and observe how air prevents water from entering the cup, demonstrating that air occupies space. 4. Summative discussion. Students reflect on all the observation and create their own demonstration to show their understanding. Okay, next slide I will explain about why activities matter. Activities are the core of instructional success. All to just one part of the lesson plan, they allow students to actively engage, understand new concepts, and absorb learning in a deeper and more meaningful way. Okay, I will explain about for learning environment perspective. According to Bransford, Brown, and Cooking, there are 4 complementary learning environment. Learner Center, build on student field knowledge. Knowledge Center, help students understand the structure of the content. Assessment Center, encourage continuous feedback and improvement. Community Center, promotes collaboration and real-world connection. These approaches should be integrated to support effective learning. Okay, next slide. Instructional approach direct versus indirect. Instruction can be direct where the teacher leads or the indirect where the teacher facilitates. It's often described as said or the straight versus the guide on the side. Most students benefit from a balanced active participation within a structured environment and blended approach example from the best learning. Problem-based learning is good example of combining approach. The teacher introduces core concept direct, but students are encouraged to investigate, solve problem, and reflect independently atau indirect. This result in deeper learning and stronger retention. Stronger retention. And next slide. I will explain about professional planning and implementation. Effective instructional event require more than just content. Careful planning is needed, schedule platform, assigning facilitators, informing participants, and managing outcome. The technical support team usually ensure the learning environment operates smoothly and efficiently. Case studies is application. Bill chose a knowledge center open environment for writing center learning progressive and their own pace widget within a clear framework. Carol prefer a structure assessment center environment for supervisor training and passing testing and revision to achieve learning goals. Each approach was tailored the context, the learning object.
The next material is instructional activities. Instructional activities are the experiences designed to help students learn. These are the interactions and events in which people participate to gain new knowledge, skill, or insight. Most people are familiar with traditional instructional activities such as lecture, presentation, demonstration, drill and practice, and question and answer. But there are also a number of other possibilities. First, there's problem-based learning. Problem-based learning or PBL activities are open-ended learning situations. Students are usually presented with a problem that needs to be solved and are then encouraged to develop a solution to that problem by using the resources and tools available to them. Once the problem is presented to the class, students work in small groups to decide how to approach the problem and what information is necessary to form a reasonable solution. In the final phase of a PBL activity, students reflect on both the problem and their methods of developing a solution, summarizing and synthesizing what they have learned. Albion, 2003. The second is simulations and games. Simulation as an educational tool is particularly appealing for situations where physical safety is an issue. Activities that allow individuals to play out situations without placing anyone at risk have a long and honorable history. Proponents of simulation as an educational activity argue that humans have a natural tendency to learn through mimesis, that a simulation offers a safe environment in which to explore possibilities, and that there is a need for opportunities to experiment with decision making before actually entering certain professional arenas. Next is instructional games. Making use of games as instructional activity has a number of advantages. Games keep learners interested in repetitive tasks, for example, memorizing. Well-designed games are fun to play and attractive to learners, and gameplay can provide a relaxed atmosphere for learning. However, games can also distract learners from focusing on the content if they are poorly designed or create an atmosphere of intense competition. Depending on the construction and application of an instructional game, it may be oriented toward either a directed or open-ended environment. Move on to just-in-time teaching. Just-in-time teaching or just-in-time instruction is a currently popular concept among educators. It is a strategy whereby direct instruction is provided based on immediate needs expressed or indicated by students during a lesson or work period. The just-in-time approach makes use of direct teaching methods within an indirect teaching environment. The instruction takes the role of facilitator, providing short lessons that cover content the students themselves request. The last is research support for instructional practices. An instructional designer's job includes making decisions about the instructional activities that are to be used to help learners meet specific goals and objectives. One of the earliest and most helpful meta-analyses was conducted by Jones and Well, 2008. They have proposed four categories of models: personal, information processing, behavioral, and social. Marzano, Pickering, and Pollack 2004 also conducted a meta-analysis of teaching practices research. In their book Classroom Instruction That Works, Research-Based Strategies for Increasing Student Achievement, they propose that teaching is rapidly becoming more of a science. The evidence examined so far indicates that specific types of teaching practices have strong effects on students' achievement and that these practices work well with all types of subject matter. Then there's also another research. Level 1 Basic is pure research conducted in a laboratory setting. The purpose is to establish a theoretical construct or idea as having some validity. This research typically has led to theories about learning, which are often then developed into programs or instructional methods. Level 2 Comparative research is designed to test the efficacy of particular programs or instructional methods in educational settings. The research conducted at this level is done in educational settings to determine how effective these particular instructional methods or programs are. Level 3 Evaluative research is designed to determine the efficacy of instructional methods or programs at a much larger level than rather than in an isolated educational setting.
Right, uh, thank you very much to Fanny and Asia for the material that have been delivered by them. And first of all, I would like to introduce myself again. My name is Azhar Fauzan Aziz, and for this session forward, I will take over for the delivering the materials. So, for my part, I have to deliver the activities based on proven effective strategies materials. So, there are so many kinds of specific learning in the world that can be applied on instructional activities. And based on Mazzano et al. In 2004 and then et al. In 2012 research, there are 9 strategies that have been proven to have a strong influence or effect on student achievement. So for this material, let's take a look for the 9 strategies. Let's go to the next slide. Alright, for the first strategies, we have identifying similarities and differences. And for this one is the ability to determine similarities and differences between things is very essential and crucial to most form of understanding. And for specific instructional activities that can facilitate this process are include first we have example and non-example. This is when delivering the materials or describing what something is. It is also very important to illustrate what is not something. For example, like A, noun is a person, place or thing, and A noun is not an action word, nor is it a descriptive word. And for the second, we have classifying. Classifying is identifying the rules that controls category relationship. Classifying requires the organization of various elements, objects, or concepts according to their similarities. And activities that support classifying we have graphic organizer. Graphic organizer is a visual display that illustrates the classification of information that can help students better understand the similarities and differences among various elements, object or concept. And for the second we have scattergrams. Scattergram is when student we can ask the student to organize information according the component similarities and ask them to provide a randomized display of the various element, object and or concept. And also we can ask students to organize them to according to their similarities. And the last or the third is analogies, metaphor and similes. I will take the little explanation for this one. Maybe like when children see the cat with four legs, then they will consider that the animals with four legs are cat. But if they see a dog with four legs, they will think that animal is also called a cat. So we have to tell them that animals with four legs, not only the cat, it can be also a dog or another animals. So for the conclusion is to draw on their own experience to better understand for the new information. Okay, for the next strategies or the second strategies we have summarize and note taking. This is the instructional activities that highly effective for both adolescent and adult learners, and the activities that can facilitate this category include 10 and 2. This is when every minute after the instructor delivering the material, he needs to gives an opportunity to students about 2 minutes to take any action to the material that have been delivered by the instructor. Then we have reflective writing. This one is when students are asked to generate a written response to the information presented to reflect the material. And for the third, we have reciprocal teaching. This one can be done with group activity when with one student are as take a role as a leader, and then he or she direct the discussion, but all members of the group are responsible for reviewing, clarifying and summarizing the information. And for the last we have revising and adding to notes. This one is when students revise and add to their notes in order to summarize and synthesize the material. Okay, for the third strategies, we have reinforcing effort and providing recognition. It is very important for student success is the belief that effort will not betray the result. And as an instructor, finding ways to recognize and reward student efforts is an activity that can increase the efficiency and effectiveness of an instructional design, including um, posts of prompt and praise. This is when students are struggling to understand the material. We can ask them to stop in order to discuss about problem they are facing with suggesting solution or prompt, and reward and symbol of recognition to recognizing and rewarding student success, we can give small gift or put the name in a place of honor. For example, like a board of ranking or class ranking. Alright, for the next one, we have homework and practices. And this method can improve learning and achievement because, as we know, the more you practice, the better you are at your work. And the activities that promote homework and practice, including the first is speed and accuracy reporting, is provide information about the extent of student skills, and students can also set their work as review material. And homework, assigning activities to be complete outside of formal class time can extend learning opportunities as well as give students a chance for more practice. For the fifth strategies, we have non-linguistic representation. For this one is a psychological theory which argue that humans are store information in two forms, are imagery and linguistic, and non-linguistic representation include, for the first we have illustration and animation, graphic and animate sequences that illustrate the content are more efficient and easy to remember rather than just delivering the words, especially for students. And then we have graphic organizer. This one is a combination of linguistic and imagery mode. And third, we have sound. Sound support the acquisition, processing, and retrieval of new information in variety ways and can have profound effect on learners' recall. And the last is kinesthetic representation, creating cycle models or working with manipulative representations. Okay, for the next strategies or the six strategies, we have cooperative learning. Cooperative learning experts such as David Johnson and Roger Johnson in 1999 outlined five defining elements of cooperative learning. There are positive interdependence, which is everyone working together to success, and then offering face-to-face promotive interaction. This is offering help and praise to the group members. And the third is individual and group accountability, which is each member contributing to the group success. And then interpersonal and small group skill. This one is main communication, decision making, and conflict resolution. And for the last is group processing, which is reflecting on how the group function and how its functioning can be improved. Alright, we are going to the next strategies or the seventh strategies, and we have setting objective and providing feedback. So, setting instructional objective can promote efficient instruction. However, in some cases, setting objective may cause the instruction to be more efficient in a limited manner. For example, like when students may focus so completely on the specified objective that they do not explore the material in a way that allows them to develop broader or deeper understanding of the general topic. So the activities that support this one include contract. For this one, students work with instructor to develop their own individualized learning contract, stating objectives and goals based on their personal interests, strengths, or weaknesses. And then critique sessions, the instructor, other students, or groups of students offer positive and corrective feedback as to whether the individual or group is accomplishing state objective. Right, we are going to the next one. Okay, for the next strategies that proven effective is generating and testing hypotheses, having students make predictions and conduct experiments based on those predictions. There are two methods of generating hypotheses, and the first is inductive reasoning, is the process of drawing new conclusion from available information. And then deductive reasoning is the process of using general rules, heuristic in parentheses, to predict a future action or event. And for more detail, maybe you can access our chapter report. Alright, we are going to the last strategies of this material. Alright, we have arrived to the last materials that I have to deliver on this presentation. And for the ninth material, we have question, cause, and advanced organizer. And this one is the strategies of introducing a topic by asking questions about that topic or by providing some type of preview. And general rules that apply to all question, cause, and advanced organizer strategies are: the first, we can focus on the important things of the material, and then question and case that require students to analyze information, produce more learning and questions. And the last thing we can do after asking a question, wait a moment before receiving a student response, and then for this one, this can increase the depth of that response. Alright, that's all the material that I have to deliver on this occasion or on this presentation, and I'm sorry, I'm so apologize if there are so many noises out there. And for the next material will be delivered by Fanny. For Fanny, the time and place is yours. So thank you very much for the attention.
Thank you to Azhar who has delivered the material. And next slide, I will explain about conclusion. Effective instructional design is not merely about selecting activities, but about aligning evidence-based strategies with the specific need and goal of learner. Activities such as attend and do, reflection writing, reciprocal teaching, and note revision has been proven to promote deeper and more independent learning for both adults and adults. The success of these activities greatly depends on the teacher ability to create supportive learning environment and apply appropriate teaching methods. A blended instructional approach that combines various strategies often lead to more optimal and sustainable learning outcomes. As the moderator, I would like to thank you for the attention and participation. I hope the material present will be useful and applicable in your teaching practice. See you in the next session. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.